What's good, WWE 2K fans? It's your boy DC, and I am back with another WWE 2K18 wishlist video. So in this one today, we're going to be talking about a lot of the match mechanics in WWE 2K17 and the things that I would like to see improve or change in WWE 2K18. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this video, man. Okay, so starting off the list at number 1 is going to be the chain wrestling mechanic. Now, I am a huge fan of this mechanic. I mean, I love it because it adds so much just realism and authenticity to the WWE 2K series. But with that being said, I mean, it's always room for improvement. And I guess the number 1 improvement that I can think of that I would just love to see happen is just to have more control over those chain wrestling mechanics. Because a lot of times, I mean, you can't really pick your transitions and all that stuff like that. And I would really like to be able to just have some control over that. I mean, maybe using the left stick or something to decide how you want to advance your transition, and, while the, I guess, right stick kind of handles everything else. So, I mean, I think that's just one implementation that would be so awesome, like I say, just to have choices on how we want to proceed with the chain wrestling. A company with chain wrestling that's more so catered towards a wrestler specific fighting style. So, I mean, luchas do like a lot of the, switching and back and forth kind of stuff, the flips and all that. And then you have like the brawlers, who may just like use mainly, strikes and blows and stuff like that. Then you have the technical guys who are, more so technical, which are pretty much in the way things work right now. They do a lot of, standing switches and, I mean, just face locks and stuff like that. And also don't forget about the big men, the big guys who are the big immovable giants who, I mean, it's going to be hard to, I guess, trying to give them chain wrestling. So I would like to just see like test of strength or something like that, and replace for the big guys, the big strong guys or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So just something like that. So that way it kind of encompasses everybody and not just, I mean, everybody's just not kind of stuck to that particular style. And also I would like to see more, of character specific stuff. Like I noticed like with the Shinsuke Nakamura stuff, that was fucking awesome, man. So I would like to see more of that, if it's a dirty wrestler, I mean, throw that kind of stuff in there. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of stuff that's really going to make the game stand out. So coming in at number 2 is going to be limb targeting. I would really like to see this expanded upon, and just kind of get out of that static locations of just like, standing and when your opponent's on the mat. I mean, like there are a bunch of wrestlers who, target limbs from like when somebody's in the corner, they might use it to like, wrap their leg up in it and, kick it or something like that. Or, even like when they're leaning against the ropes, you can choke them with the rope or, what I'm saying, stuff like that. Even on the outside, I mean, like they use the apron as well as the steel steps, all of that. So, I mean, there are so many different ways that they can go with this and so many expansions. I mean, I would like to see them capitalize on some of those, man, because like I said, I mean, expanding this feature would be awesome. I mean, also throw weapon limb targeting things in there. I mean, like I said, I mean, it's so many things that they could do with this. And also I would like to see them kind of switch up the targeting anatomy or whatever, because it's crazy. I mean, that you have like, you could target the head and then you have both arms. I mean, which is crazy because no matter which arm you target, they're both going to get red. So I don't think, it's really needed. I mean, like I say, just have one to target the head, then one for the arms encompassing both. I mean, and then the legs, I mean, because, I mean, the legs are like that. You don't have one for the left leg and the right leg. I mean, that way you could throw in like, the body. So you can, allow us to be able to target like a wrestler's body because, that way we could soften them up for submissions and stuff like that. So I think that's another way that they could actually expand on limb targeting. And the last thing involving limb targeting is, simply put, make it mean something. I mean, I think it's crazy that, you can spend all this time, damaging somebody's limbs or targeting a limb And it doesn't really mean anything other than the fact that you probably can make them tap out faster. But it's like, you know, generally, like, you know, there's no selling of it or anything. It's like, you know, the guy still is able to walk around fine. You damage a leg, or, you know what I'm saying, or he can still run and has all his functionality. You know what I mean? And like I said, there's no selling point to it. It's just like his leg is red, but you never know it. Like, you know, if you're just looking at that character. I mean, so why not have the, you know, I guess wrestlers sell it? You know what I mean? Have them limping around and make them lose certain abilities for, I mean, listen, you can just make it a buffer. You know what I'm saying? Make it a buffer to where, like, if their leg is red, like, you know, for a little bit of time until, just like how the taunts work, until the meter runs out, you know, maybe they can't run, or, you know, maybe they can't do heavy lifting moves. You know what I mean? Like I said, if their arms are hurt, you know, same thing. You know, maybe they can't do certain lifts, or, you know, their strikes are less effective, you know, for a certain amount of time. I mean, just something, you know, and like I say, have them sell it, you know, have them hold the arm or something, like if it's hurting, or, you know, favor it, not be able, like when they swing, you know, they swing with the other hand or something. I mean, just anything. Like I said, I just find it crazy that, you know, there's not really, they don't really sell injuries. So you work all this time, you know, I guess to beat somebody down and soften up their limb. You know what I mean? And like I said, there's really nothing to show for it other than the fact, like I said, that you can put them in a submission. What if you're not a submission guy? I mean, what good is it? Something to think about. So coming in at number 3, it's going to be just some tweaks to the submission system, man. First and foremost, I would like to see more of, like, you know, the rest holds and stuff like that. Like I say, just toss in a bunch more of those. And like I say, secondly, just one of the big issues for me was, like, the lack of, like, I guess, a dominant crawling system. Like I say, I can't express to you how crazy that is to me, because, I mean, if anybody, you know, watches wrestling in general, whether it's WWE, ROH, whatever the case may be, I mean, they know, like, submission spots, a big part of that is, like, you know, the whole struggle to try to get to the ropes, you know, when they crawl in and all that stuff. So it just baffles me that this game doesn't have a very good representation of that. Now, I mean, I know there's, like, some crawling, but I mean, it's just so minuscule to the point that, you know, I mean, it's hardly even noticeable, especially, like, with the way the submission system is set up anyway. So, I mean, I really think that they need to bring that to the forefront. The crawling theatrics is what really makes, like, the submission spots, man. I mean, it's like that's all the excitement of it. So, I mean, like I said, again, for them not to have, you know, that in the game is, you know, kind of crazy to me. So, I mean, that's definitely something that I feel like, you know, they should work on. I mean, it definitely needs to be in the next game. And also, I mean, hey, grabbing the ropes and stuff too. I mean, like, once you get to the, I guess, the close enough to the ropes, I mean, you should have a button to reach out and maybe try to grab it or something like that. Or it'll give you a prompt, say, press something to grab ropes. Kind of, you know, pretty much how the pin one works when you put your feet on the ropes. I mean, just like that, man. And lastly, man, I would like to see better selling animations when it comes to submissions. You know, if a guy's about to tap out, you know, just have him raise his hand, you know, I guess, like, to build that excitement and all that stuff, man. Stuff like that really matters, and it would go a long way, like, just in a submission game in general. So just that visual representation, you know, accompanied by, like I say, a better crawling system and all that, and, you know, just more holes, man. I mean, the submission system would be really nice. Which also brings me to, I guess, you know, just how maybe they could incorporate that. I would say maybe, you know what I'm saying, maybe use the left stick if you want to crawl and the right stick if you want to escape, you know, just something like that. So they don't have to make too many changes or anything like that. I mean, I think, like I said, I mean, that would be an awesome addition. So anyway, that's going to do it for the submission side of things. That's right, 4 Horsemen, baby. But coming in at number 4, I would say expand the wake up taunt stuff. Like I said, I mean, it was an awesome addition in WWE 2K17 for them to have the wake up taunts and just the whole taunt system in general. But I think, you know, I would like to see them expand on that, especially, like I said, the wake up taunts part of it. One of the main things is, like, I mean, I think they should maybe have, you know, different wake up taunts that allow you to place your opponent in different positions, like, I guess, depending on where you want them to go. So say, like, you know, if you want your opponent to, I guess, get up and like crawl towards the corner and stand up in a corner or something like that. So maybe you could set up like a follow-up moves, like, you know, the haluva kick or whatever, or a stinger splash, you know, stuff like that. Or, like I said, you can get them to crawl towards the corner and just kind of, instead of leaning against it, just stand up. So you could set up Finn Balor's shotgun kick, you know, stuff like that. I mean, just kind of anywhere you want them to go, I guess, depending on the taunt that you choose. You should be able to have that kind of ability to, I guess, you know, to help set up things. You know what I'm saying? So I think that would be a cool implementation if they could, you know, pull that off. Just have, you know, wake up taunts kind of help direct, you know, your opponent and set up the moves that you want to set up. Other examples of this would be like having an opponent stand up, like facing away from you. You know what I'm saying? That was like a huge thing for a lot of people I know. I mean, the fact that they couldn't have someone, I guess, like stand up and be facing away from them so they could perform like back finishers and stuff like that. Which that was a huge oversight by 2K. I mean, that was kind of weird. Another huge addition to the mechanic would be weapon wake up taunts, man. Again, I think this is another one where a lot of people were, you know, really wanting. So I would say throw those in as well, man. I mean, maybe like have them bang the chair on the mat or something, you know, as the guy gets up slowly. That was just a quick idea, whatever. I'm just throwing stuff out there. But yeah, anyway, just wake up taunts in general for weapons, I think would be awesome as well. Five time. No, just kidding. But man, coming in at number 5 is probably going to be something that, like I say, for me personally, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I think it would be a big deal, and that's just more interactions with, like, you know, the outside, like in an environment in general. Man, it's just like, just to think about the things that are just so underutilized in this game, like for years, as a matter of fact. Like, take the ring post, for example. I mean, you see like stuff such as, like, you know, of course, the big one, Brock Lesnar doing the F5 against the ring post. You know, that was cool. I mean, that's something that never made it in. You know what I'm saying? And then just like, you know, bigger guys like lawn darting, smaller guys like either, you know, head first or shoulder first into the ring post. You know, I missed the moves like, you know, you could slam their leg against the ring post. I mean, just stuff like that, man. And ring post is probably one of the most sorely, like, underutilized things in these games, man. It's like, and I never wonder, you know, why they just never, you know, wanted to work on it or anything, or add anything new to it. I mean, because like I said, especially with the barricade getting what I like to call the moveset treatment, you know what I'm saying? I think, you know, it's time for a lot of other things, you know, especially like environmental things like the apron when you're on the outside. I mean, I think it's crazy that, you know, that's sorely underutilized. Like, instead of, like, you know, when you whip somebody towards the apron, I mean, yeah, just like have them lean against it like they do the barricade. That way, you know, you can kind of do what you want. This is where I feel like, you know, Kevin Owens, like, apron power bump should take place instead of, you know, I mean, it being in ring or whatever. I guess it doesn't matter, but I mean, it could be like just a secondary place where you can pull off moves and stuff like that. You know what I mean? If you want to set up people for apron moves, or, you know what I'm saying, slam their leg against it or whatever, you know, just anything, man. But like I said, I feel like it's just one of those things that are just sort of like just underutilized, man. I mean, they never really took the time to just, I guess, pay any attention to that. Steel steps, same thing, man. I mean, it's so many things that you could do with the steel steps, and it's just not happening. You know what I mean? I mean, you see so many wrestlers like utilize these steel steps, whether you know you're doing the ramming their head against it or whatever, or you know, I mean, going cane style and like tombstoning them on it, or power bombing across the suplexes, whatever. It's so many things, man, that they don't use it for. I mean, I think that's crazy. Even the announcers table. I mean, there are plenty of things that you could do on that don't require, you know, you trying to put somebody through it. I mean, I miss the days when you can like use the TV cord to choke, you know what I'm saying, your opponent, or you know what I'm saying. I mean, like what's been happening recently, like you know, just throw them across the table and into like all the announcers and all that stuff like that. That would be another little cool addition. Just you know, stuff like that. I mean, like I said, whether it be OMG moments or whatever the case may have you, I mean, still it's just something, like I say, a lot of that stuff on the outside is just sorely underutilized, man. They need to really, you know what I'm saying, step their game up when it comes to that. So all right, WWE 2K fans, that's gonna do it for this episode 3 of WWE 2K18 My Wish List. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, man. And like I said, if you did, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for your boy. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe if you haven't already. You know what I'm saying? And click the little thing to get the, you know, all the little updates and things like that. You know what I'm saying? If you want to check your boy out. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? I do appreciate y'all watching this video. You know what I'm saying? If you want to, go ahead and share it or whatever the case may be. But like I said, again, thank y'all for watching, and I will holler at y'all later.